if it is to be Steven Gerrard, he has got one major hurdle to have to overcome before he could commit to Rangers. And that's a really interesting domestic conversation with Mrs. Gerrard. What I'm being told is that the family are really settled in the Middle East. The Gerrards have a family home. I think it's a 10 grand a month mansion in Bahrain, which was within an hour's drive of Saudi, where Steven Gerrard had been working at El Atifiq. And they really like it. They're really enjoying the lifestyle. And I'm told that the lifestyle part of this is a major factor. I think that they have previously discussed, Steven's next move maybe being somewhere like Dubai, because that was a favourite kind of family holiday resort for them. All I'm saying is, yep, we think there has been contact and conversations. There is this suggestion that it's a fait accompli now. He is the last man standing, the preferred candidate. I'm not even going to counter that. What I would say is I just don't think it's as cut and dried as all that. And what I'm being told is that Steven Gerrard may have asked for just a little bit more time to have these discussions, to work out his kind of family situation. And Rangers are equally kind of up in the ante on that, because they want a decision, and they want a decision yesterday. I think the American takeover is a lot closer than Dave King, or to completion than Dave King made out when he suggested it could be mid-June. I think it could be days away now, and you kind of get the feeling that what they want to do here is present new owners, new takeover, new future, new manager, all in sort of one bundle over the course of 24 or 48 hours. I think that Rangers will be pushing Steven Gerrard now and saying that there's got to be time limitations on this period of deliberation. But as I said, there's so much information out there. As I said, even the identity of his background team being discussed. But we did get to that situation about 3 weeks ago with Davide Ancelotti, didn't we? And we knew who he was bringing. So this thing has actually been really complicated. There's been all manner of names and not very much in the way of information coming out. Rangers have stuck to the sort of standard line, which is that the process is underway. So it's just there might just not be as cut and dried or as straightforward as is being presented right now. That's certainly information that's come to us in the last hour. Look, this situation is changing. Phone call by phone call, as Scott will tell you, hour by hour. You get a new little bit, but this I think is important. I'm just, as much as I can see why there's a real clamour, as much as I can see why there's a sort of romance to the whole thing and unfinished business, and the guy that won Rangers' last title, I think the family situation is ultimately really important to Steven Gerrard, as it would be to any guy, and it's one that might be a little bit more complicated and add a little bit of a complication to this situation, which maybe hasn't been factored in so far.
Scott, as Keith says, the rumours are rampant. I mean, in our comment section since going live, Craigie says the press conference is booked for tomorrow. He says that Gerrard's going to be announced and Jordan Henderson too. And obviously, our friend of the show, Gianni, says he's 7-1 on Bet365. I mean, at the moment, he seems to be the name in the frame.
Well, if the press conference is booked for tomorrow, the press haven't been told yet. None of us have been informed of any press conference as yet.
Yeah, but Scott, in fairness, we wouldn't be, would we?
No, of course.
The protocol would be, we'll get an invitation to go to the press conference, or you'll get the invitation to go to the press conference. Maybe, if it was 12 o'clock tomorrow, they might start informing us about 10 o'clock tomorrow, give us a couple of hours. So we wouldn't have learned tonight, in fairness, Scott.
I'll be surprised if it's tomorrow, Daniel. But I agree with Keith, it's been complicated, difficult. It feels as if it's chopped and changed several times. over the weekend, I felt momentum building for Steven Gerrard. The wee snippets that I was hearing, I was starting to believe that there was a genuine chance that it could be him. But a bit like Jacko, the most recent information in terms of the calls I've made, I've spoken to people who are close to Steven Gerrard, and listen, you can never rule anything out categorically, but their feeling is that it won't be him, that the timing just isn't right. There's a lot of what Jacko says I've heard about his family being really settled in Bahrain in terms of kids' schools, stuff like that. So there's a reluctance there to give that up so suddenly. And as I say, as time's going on, and as I say, the day I've been making calls, trying to chase this up, trying to get a handle on it, my gut feeling is that it's unlikely to be Steven Gerrard. Now, listen, it's obviously a massive decision for Rangers, massive appointment, a massive decision for Steven Gerrard as well. So there could be an element of cloak and dagger about it, and it has to be obviously kept as hush-hush as possible. So I'm not ruling anything out, and I make no apologies for trying to cover myself, because it has been complicated.
That's covering exercise here, wee man.
I can only tell you my gut feeling just for people I've spoken to. And as I say, some of those people I'd like to think are fairly close to Steven Gerrard. And they don't think it will be him at this stage. And I think Jacko said it's important. He mentioned, Rangers, the official stance for the club, irrespective of all the reports that came out, even for David Ancelotti and Russell Martin, who I'm sure we'll speak about, they are adamant, as of even mid-afternoon today, that the process is still on.